Okay, it is Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. We are calling the Economic Development Commission meeting to order at 7:12 p.m. Members present are myself, Renee Deli, Laura Parker, Denise Luciano, and Cody Thompson. I thought that Michael was joining us too. I know Sharon sent me a note later saying that she couldn't make it. I'm not sure if Michael's here, but we'll get started. This is the agenda that we had from like a month ago, so some of these may seem somewhat stale. And just so you know, on the second item, Cody, I knew that you were going to be late, so I asked Mike just to join us at like 20 after, like between 20 after and 7:30, since you've been mainly the point person on the town-owned properties. So the first item we had on here was the update on the fall town meeting, and I got to tell you, I think the only thing that I can remember that I wanted to mention was in relation to the EDC was that home petition about the multiple all alcohol liquor licenses. So if you weren't at the town meeting, the petitioner, it wasn't recommended by FinCom, so it didn't move, and there was nobody there to represent the article, so there was no action taken on it. I did tee this up with the select board though to pick up where we left off earlier this year. And I think the language is appropriate with the modifications that we made to identify the areas that the EDC had decided upon. So we'll probably talk about that. I can't remember if it's on the meeting agenda for next week or if it's on for the 16th, but I did ask for us to tee that up so the select board can talk about it and be prepared to put that on the next warrant at the Springtown meeting that I honestly don't think that we set a date yet, but it should be in April or May. I don't know if there are any other issues. Laura, you were there, right, at the meeting? Or anything that was relevant to the EDC for updates?
Yeah, what happened to Mr. Luca?
Yeah, that was the one, the all alcohol. He had it written down the wrong day, he said. So Mike emailed him and he's like, he said something and he goes, is it still being talked about? Mike was like, no, it was last night. So that's all I know. But that's the one that we'll take this as an opportunity to, it's been reviewed multiple times with the select board, right? And we reviewed it multiple times. So I think if anybody does want to see the language, if you don't have it, what was modified right before the meeting, I can provide it to you, or we can review it at the next meeting. But it's pretty general. And Paul, I know I asked you the last meeting about, should we put something in there about zoning? And it's actually in there. It's like the last line of the article. It mentions that it has to be, it still has to comply with all the zoning requirements. So like commercial or industrial.
Yeah.
So that was already in there. But yeah, so I don't know if they're going to try to come back with it, but I would prefer that, we as committees and boards have that, and we can socialize it and have discussion with, the community to see if there are any issues or any concerns that we need to address. I think it would be, I definitely know FinCom would be more appreciative just to have more background and understanding of the support that the different groups brought to the table, because the way that the article was written, I don't believe FinCom or the select board approved it or recommended it.
But it would almost be better if the select board just put it on the agenda as opposed to making it. I think it would have gone down easier.
Yeah, I think so too. So since we have the language, my hope is that we talk, like I said, it's in one, I asked for it to be on one of the next two meetings so we can talk about it and everybody on the board will be aware that we're going to put it on as an article. And that'll give us time, if anybody does have questions, to appropriately respond to them. It was another one of those situations where we were like, well, what can we do to, if it is moved, to at least improve it? So, I can say that they were, they were on board with the language change that we had suggested, so that it wasn't just identifying somebody in that particular parcel on the Blue Star, in the Blue Star area. So that was good, but again, nobody represented to move it. Nobody represented it to move it. Sorry.
Hey, is the modified language, is it specific to Blue Star, or is it from Blue Star to the Eastern Line?
It's from 495 to the Easton line.
Okay, great, thanks.
And it did. I asked Mike to confirm too. It does include, like, if that MassDOT property is sold and they start building on it, it will include that property too, because that address is considered East Main.
Yeah, that's East Main, and it's zoned industrial now.
Yeah. So it allows for any development, new development right off the highway, or anything that's going up to Easton. So it's aligned, Denise, to what our conversation was.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was kind of surprised that nobody was there. I was expecting us to have a lot of discussion on it. Okay, that's the only thing that I can think of that I remember, and I apologize, I didn't write down the topics. I didn't think that we'd be talking about it a month later, so I wasn't thinking ahead.
Well, the master plan got adopted.
Yes. Yeah, that's
really unanimously. One.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be more discussion on that, to be honest.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised. We'd tried to do a series of public engagement events, and after a while, that wasn't anything controversial in it. So no, I was not surprised and happy that we didn't have a master plan getting debated at town meeting could go sideways so quickly. But that's why we tried to do a lot of public engagement in the beginning, throughout the process.
There was a comment though at the meeting, right? That somebody said, I never heard about the master plan.
Yes.
It was that one, right? Yeah.
Yes, but that has a history to it. It has nothing to do with the master plan.
I think there were a couple of comments on articles, and I think everybody who has been consistently engaged we're kind of like, well, it's been a couple years.
Yeah.
Right. At least.
Yeah.
So
sorry we didn't personally invite you.
Right. Exactly.
Well, that's part of the challenge. But as Tim, the planning board chair, I thought did a great job of communicating that the actions that implement it will largely, many of them will go in front of town meeting again, whether it's zoning changes, budget items that we might need. But this plan itself, if we don't do anything with it, won't change anything. But that's not our goal. Our goal is to move it all forward, get good things out of it. So, but I was really happy, that's a pretty big achievement. And I was thinking, by the last two town meetings we've had, clearly the previous town meeting with the three big capital projects getting approved, but, a master plan, the last one was 23 years ago. That's a big thing. And if we'll make it even bigger when we move things forward and, do what we can, and then see how, the private side, the private sector will move, other aspects of the plan.
Right. I think this would be one of those things that it would probably make sense as we take each individual piece that needs to be approved at town meeting, that we refer back to, in the fall of 2021, we approved the master plan. And this is like always having that preface before every discussion. And then hopefully it just becomes, I don't want to say common nature, but hopefully people will then be aware. It's tough. I don't know. I know we've all talked about it. Like how more can you get the message out, right, without going door to door?
Well, one of the things I've been working on is the implementation of it. And ultimately, the planning board, what I want to do to ensure that that plan moves forward is once a year that teams that implement it report to the planning board, and that we put that report, summarize it in the annual report, that we can see we've started doing X, Y, Z, or as Canadians say Z, okay, whatever. But we get that out there and get the momentum going and show people, no, we are making progress toward things. We want to be able to do it all across the elements of that plan. But I think starting in the new year, it's time to really hit the go button on it.
Yep. And how many things do we have the EDC aligned to? Do you remember offhand?
A lot. If you want on the next agenda, we can, I've got them all pulled together of things.
Can I call it master plan deliverables as an agenda item?
Yeah. How?
Deliverables and prioritization. Is it already prioritized?
It is.
No. It is?
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I think I've worked out a simple org chart of how of the different actions based on the prioritization that we have in the plan. So what I did though was I grouped land use and economic development actions together because they tie in together so much. But I can explain that at the next meeting.
Okay. That's perfect. I wrote it down. So we'll have that. I think that'll be a nice little session for like the upcoming year, right? Kind of like a goals, but not really a goal since it's already outlined.
Right.
I just got a note from Mike. He's going to be juggling 2 meetings at 7:30, so I just let him know that we're ready for him now if he wants to hop on. Anything else, Paul, that I've overlooked from the meeting?
I don't want to go open this rabbit's hole, but this issue with water that came up, the changes, and I don't want to go down that, but I think a big thing that we're going to need to start doing a better job with is aligning economic development, land use, and infrastructure together. And that's something that's in the plan, but that's a huge one. And we need to be looking, we need to be factoring in other things and having more input into the decision making as to where the future water and sewer lines go. We're trying to make West Main Street happen. We'd like to see Mansfield Ave happen, and it'll happen more readily if there's sewer in those sites.
Yeah, and maybe I know that they've been tentative on our agenda, and I haven't actively, because they had been presenting so much on that topic. I hadn't reached out to try to get them onto this agenda, but maybe we review these next week as a committee, and then we come back the next meeting and have them, and we specifically talk about that. Because I can tell you in one of the meetings I was in, they made a comment that if this is approved, then we have to go back to the drawing board, and any growth opportunities are going to be impacted. But I mean, to me, like that really should be the number one priority is growth opportunities. So yeah, I'm right with you. No rabbit hole, but let's make sure that we have some initial discussions about a partnership and collaboration.
And that's a big piece of the master plan. I think that's a huge direction to go in. And if as we do that, I think we'll start to see win-wins pop out of it. Because we need to be, one of the things I'm thinking we need to do, because when we rezoned the Village Center Core, it was only about halfway up where the sewer is, and I'm thinking maybe next year we should be thinking about rezoning the remaining portion of that from the high school to the housing authority. I don't know what that looks like yet. There's a couple of options out there that we could use, but as much as we could try to direct more growth to where the sewer is, that helps the financial success or sustainability of the water and sewer department, but it also then is an appropriate place for more intensive development. I don't mean 10-story buildings, but Norton 3-4-story buildings. But when you have water, when you have sewer there, especially, you don't have the limitations that you'll have with septic. So we should be focusing, I think, in the immediate term to rezone some of these areas that have sewer, that if we really want to incentivize growth there, whether it's on 123 or the area up at 140 at Mansfield Ave where there's, where the sewer line is.
Yeah, and there are quite a bit of properties for sale, right, on 140 that
For
have
sale?
been for sale. Yeah, for sale for a while. Like, wasn't like the silver property, and then there's another one that it's not adjacent, but in close proximity. Aren't there quite a few parcels that are
for sale? Yeah, Ribero's, right? And then the property, it's 196 Mansfield. It's right next to Auto Part International. That's been for sale. I haven't gone up there to look at all of that, but if there are maybe there are multiple, more than the two that I know of. So
yeah, I remember too from previous conversations of people who looked at that property, and they, to your point, they cited that not having sewer there was really a hindrance.
Oh, okay. One of the site I mentioned at 196 has sewer, but if you're south of the shopping center, then there's no sewer. That's a big gap. That's a huge gap. We'd love to see it run all the way down to 123 and eventually down Taunton Ave. Right, Mike? You're muted, Mike.
You were just on the Land Preservation Society meeting. I didn't know I didn't have it on mute. I heard them say that's Paul DiGiuseppe.
Awesome.
I'm pretty sure that Kathy plans to be.
Hey, Paul, do you have a diagram of where sewer currently is?
Kathy Gilbert-Zaleski. Sorry, Kathy
I might have something.
Okay. Can you take a look? Because I know I've asked a couple of times and I don't ever recall opening an attachment that had something that was easily understandable. Unless, if anybody remembers, I would have forwarded it out, but.
No, I found something. Let's see if I can find it. It was a public website. And I forget who put it out. But Bridgewater State University, 2008. It was water and sewer service maps by town. Norton was in there, but again, it's old.
Is it a nice map though?
Yep. Hang on, I'm looking to get to.
I've got something, and it comes from the water and sewer master plan. It shows areas as well for expansion and so forth. So Renee, can I go to, let me flip this first. But if I can get,
yeah, you should have it.
Shared screen. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm trying to rotate this first.
We can just all do this. Just kidding.
Yeah, okay, let me, this is hanging on the wall in the hallway on the second floor. But I think this comes from the master plan itself. There are areas where, and you can see that this is the, sorry about that. But you can see this was a priority. If you can see my cursor, it's identifying West Main Street as a priority area.
That the blue diagonal lines or lines are priority areas where it's not available?
It would have been at this point. Now, obviously this needs to be updated. And if I can scroll in on this legend, it will tell us. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in, but. So if we see I can't quite make that out. I have to move you all.
Red is gravity, blue is force main, orange is low pressure.
How are you seeing that?
The solid lines. The solid red line is gravity. Solid green line.
Oops.
Much bigger screen.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, in that area along West Main is a needs area, but yeah, okay, gravity, this, okay, so the narrow lines are the existing ones. So I hope I can share this with you all. Yeah,
is there a date for this, Paul? A revision date?
July 2018.
Oh, good.
This was the townwide wastewater system needs map. So much of this area in front of you around Wheaton, as you can see, these are all needs areas. As we scroll up, you'll start to see, some systems come in, like around Reservoir.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see in this area, this is Seward. This area is showing, but that's not unfortunately, I can't see the whole map. I don't know why this area has got a line on it. Oh, that's a needs area, which really is a big needs area. And then you can see the existing sewer main. This is part of the whole Mansfield system, but it goes down to the shopping center. The trailer park has its own system. But yeah.
I think the red outline said private development.
Yeah, yep, that's it. That's for the trailer park. That's an internal system that they manage. Or actually they eventually, I'm not sure how that all works there, but they have to get certified through the state as well.
So that on the right side, Paul, where it's like Cobb Street and Rumford, yeah. So that's all private?
No, that's part of the system.
Oh.
I believe it is. Yeah, that's part of the system.
Is that the same red line, or is it just my colors aren't right?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's eventually going to make sense probably to get Frank or someone else from the water department to discuss the whole system that's in place, because I'm not capable of doing that. But this is a town system here, because I know we've had conversations about, well, could we extend sewer from Reservoir to get it over to Mansfield?
Mm-hmm.
Because that could, especially these properties here within Area 2. Somebody's purchased that property. We had a preliminary conversation with them about this area that was the old Peterson Trust, and then Wheaton's property here. So they talked about extending sewer for the town. We'll see what they do.
It's hard for me to tell the streets.
Yeah, well, yeah.
See how 140.
This is 140.
Washington. Yeah.
Reservoir. Yeah, this map is a little tough to read, but I think Renee, if you follow the sewer line, that tells you where Reservoir is, because these will typically go down the center of this or down the street.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's that.
Well, I think that'll be helpful. Can you share that with us, Paul?
Let me check. Let me just make sure that they're not. Let me just check with the water department with it. I would think I should be able to, but sometimes utilities can get a little wonky about that. But I'll make a note and get that. I'll make a note to contact.
So it's not part. It's not like an attachment to the master plan. You acquired it because of the master plan.
No, this was from the wastewater master plan. So we didn't have anything to do with this. So this was something the water department did.
Should probably still be public record though, right?
I would think. I just want to clarify it. I've made a note to do that, to reach out to Frank Fournier tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. Anything else on that, Paul?
Nope.
Okay, I don't know if Mike can talk. I see that he's off camera, so he might be talking on the other, but I'll give him a second. Mike, if you're ready to talk about the town-owned properties.
Hold on one second.
Public infrastructure project, whether it's a street or a shared use path like this, they need to secure
Hi.
We're good. So Mike, I know we spoke about this a while ago, but you were going to provide us with an update on the town-owned properties. I think now that there's some time has passed and with a new person in the seat.
Yes, time has passed, and unfortunately, we did lose one person in the treasurer's office, and we're about to lose a second person. So we're still working on it. As far as thank you, Cody, for sending over all that information. That's helpful. And the only parcel right now that it looks like that we have that's in commercial zone is the one. The home on Mansfield Ave that we have an agreement with Fish and Game to put a parking area in there. So we'll still keep looking at the list and see if we can find anything else that's in commercially zoned property.
And are you talking about the one where the old Parks and Rec is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because all the other land abutting that, there's a large chunk, that's all Article 97 conservation land.
Okay. And I think, Paul, I remember a brief discussion too on thinking about housing as well.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's appropriate for us, right? It's not necessarily a business, but I think any additional housing development would increase the potential for economic development. So Mike, can we consider that too? So it might not necessarily be commercial or industrial, but if there's something else that we'd be able to leverage.
Yep.
Okay. And I know who did we talk to like 8 months ago? Somebody that came to the board, they were talking about how they look for property and they try to come in and develop affordable housing, but not like the larger units like East Main Street. Do you remember that?
To the select board?
Yeah.
It would have been the consortium, the home consortium, probably.
Yeah. Was it somebody named Jim? Does that sound familiar?
Yep, it is.
Okay. Is that, I don't think we didn't have him present to the EDC, right? Does that sound familiar to anyone?
We didn't, no.
But do you think it would be beneficial, Mike, to have him?
Yeah, that would be a good idea. And we can look, the town has also, on smaller parcels, the town has worked with Habitat for Humanity in the past too.
Okay. Hey, what's this? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Laura.
Sorry. Is this the property that's going in next to the McDonald's?
Next to McDonald's?
No, that's a 40B.
Yeah.
Not the same group though.
Okay. That's not the group. Okay.
No.
Yeah, no, this, we belong to a group. It's called the Greater Attleboro Area Home Consortium. And it's a group that we work with. They do home renovations for people that meet the financial guidelines. And also they work on developing affordable housing. They have the funds. They receive money from the federal government that they will work with developers to contribute funds to developments.
Hey, Mike, do you remember the old, I think it was a firehouse at one point on Bay Road?
Bay Road, yep.
Yeah, do you know how that is zoned? Like that must be town property, right?
Yeah, that would be residential.
Yeah, that's R80, I believe. Pretty certain. Right, it's on the east side. It's on the east side of Bay, correct?
Yes.
That would be R80.
Okay, what would be potential options for that? Like, would that be where maybe we can have a home built or open space or what?
Yeah, I would assume the lot would be grandfathered, Paul. It wouldn't meet the 80,000 square foot requirement, but a home could be built on it.
So this property line here is also the Anfield Airport boundary.
What do you think, Paul?
So as part of the project.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really looked that much at that site, but if it's, you know, single family housing is the easiest thing to do in this town. So certainly could.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It'd be nice to see something go in there and provide, opportunities for somebody.
Yeah, I don't see a fire station ever going there. I don't think that would be a desirable location.
I don't even think they could fit any trucks there, right? It's pretty old. I think it still has a flagpole or something there, if I remember.
I think it's what the they probably had the siren on, the horn to call firemen years ago. That's still up there.
Hey, Mike, just for my information, how do we engage for like any sort of, did you say it's HUD housing or Habitat for Humanity?
I would just contact them and see if they were interested.
Do they do like new development or is it just reno for people who would need it?
No, they would build new houses also.
Okay. Do we have a contact there?
Yeah, I'll find that.
Okay.
What's the, I guess the protocol or the procedures for the foreclosure? I think when we discussed it before, the reason I flagged all those in red is with the little red dots, those are all, they were on the foreclosed properties. And I think we were told that they have to go off.
If they've gone through the process, I've spoken to the treasurer collector on that. She wants to have an auction. We'd have a auctioneer be involved once we identify. I know we do have some other parcels that Keith really wants to auction off because he's sick of working on trees around those properties. So we'd bunch all these together and have an auction with an auctioneer and auction off these properties.
Are they all residential or are they mixed, Cody or Mike?
Most of them are residential.
Yeah, a lot of them are residential, but there's a lot of parcels that are like contiguous, like there's over off a reservoir, there's like three sizable lots that are speculative.
Mm-hmm.
I know I sent the treasurer last week. There's some of the side streets off of Reservoir. There's a lot of parcels that we own that I wanted her to look at and see about lining them up as part of an auction.
Right. And some of them, I know there was one off of Lakeview.
I'll send you that list that I sent her last week.
There's two large parcels on South Lakeview that I think somebody had said that they maybe had been identified as like a kayak ramp or something like that.
Yeah, we looked at those with the Fish and Game when they were looking at a site, and the water wasn't deep enough there, so they really weren't interested in developing those.
Mike, is that the one where they're used? I'm sorry, Cody.
No, I was thinking like even transitioning that to like, a park or something like that and putting some picnic tables, like just, having it sit there. I mean, that's really, I know the water may not be deep enough, but it's still, a good plot of land there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Mike, is that the one where they had that pavilion years ago that burnt down?
Yes.
I like that idea. Like, as opposed to selling that, is there an opportunity for us to create like a nice open space, picnic tables, pavilion, whatever, a place for the community to actually gather and enjoy the res without traffic behind them?
That's an option. I'm sure Keith would love having another property to take care of.
He's taking care of it already. If it's,
I know.
Right.
At least if it's developed a little bit, some of the trees will be taken out.
So the ones specifically that you guys have been looking at are, oh, Mike, I'm sorry, because I wrote this down. The consortium, the cluster that Cody was talking about, like with 3 or 4 together, is that big enough for them to look at for a project?
I'll talk to Jim and see.
Okay. Or is it more advantageous for us to just auction it off, I guess?
It's probably better just to auction it off, but I'll talk to him and see if he has any, because what they would do, they'd finance a developer. So I'll ask him if he knows any developers that would be interested when we do auction it off. You know, they could be part of that.
I mean, there's several of them that are right there on, like in that Woodbine area. It's, you know, there's three in a row on Patton. There's 2 on a corner lot there at Mayflower. And then at the end where Alder and Reservoir meet, there's 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are all certainly big enough, especially if they were packed, like bundled together and sold.
Yeah.
Okay. And Mike, you said you had a list that you had shared last week?
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Okay. I mean, I think that would be a nice thing to do if we could identify some areas and kind of, I don't want to say like a mini project, right? But to look more on the housing side, like how can we help? I really like the habitat idea, I got to tell you.
What is restoration? Like when you say,
you know, and then I think about too, sorry, Mike.
I was just going to say, you know, I've been listening. Some towns have been resettling some of the Afghan refugees. You know, so it'd be nice if there was some way we could get a family in.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that would be great.
I want to say there were a few properties that were town owned that actually had homes on them. I don't know.
Right.
They could be renovated or, you know, updated, whatever they need.
Are they kept up or have they been?
I think they would need some work probably.
Yeah.
Is that something we could engage Habitat for as well?
We could. I mean, if they'd look at it and see if they think it's worth rehabbing or tearing down and building a new house.
Okay. So Mike, if you can share that list with us, like maybe we can kind of go through it and just kind of mark areas to say, does it make more sense for us to auction this off, or does it make sense maybe we reach out to another organization?
Okay.
You know, and I think about too, like, this might be something maybe we can even engage some of the high school students to help with. Like, because I know that several of them are hurting for community hours because of COVID, so it's been more challenging. Like, this might be a good opportunity for them, where we can leverage some others to kind of do some research and provide information to us.
Perhaps what's already in place along the rail trail to Mansfield, if we need to look at something.
Is that the meeting that Sandy's in?
Yes. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. It's funny. We should have had her juggling both. Any other questions? Or yeah, there you go. Or Cody, did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about now?
No, I mean, the biggest question was, you know, the process. I think the identifying them and then, you know, figuring out how best to auction. I don't know if they have to be auctioned as individual parcels or if they can be blocked. And
so we're not
if that's a zoning thing. I mean, if we own all 3 of consecutive parcels, can you basically rezone those as a single parcel?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll have to talk to the building commissioner on those parcels.
Yeah, because I mean, some of them are going to be way too small under the zoning for all the easements and setbacks and frontage, but if you bundle them together, they're more than big enough.
Yeah.
Will they be removed?
Awesome.
And
Okay,
Cody, if you have any thoughts or questions, just email me.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Any other questions from anyone?
The only other question I had is, obviously there's a ton of conservation land. Is there anything that the town can do with that conservation land that still meets the definition of conservation, but actually makes it usable, like park space?
Anything that's passive recreation, so it can be developed as parks.
So it could be like trails, like we could put trails in there, like exercise stops or things like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge chunk of conservation land that's off of that Mansfield Ave. It's kind of backs up to the, you know, it's right there on the water on the west side of the reservoir.
Yeah, we had talked before Jennifer left that we're waiting to see, obviously, what Fish and Game comes up with, but we have that property that we can access for more parking and access to the reservoir. It can be used for that.
Yeah, in fact, the new conservation director and I walked that site 2 weeks ago, and to see is there a possibility of a trail going in there? And yeah, I mean there's some challenges, some wetlands to cross, but overall it's beautiful back there. I guess that area once was a beach area for the town, and you could see that there was you know, where there might have been camping. You could still see we found a diving area that people constructed. It's almost like a fort that they probably are still diving in or fishing from. So you can see people are still using it.
Yeah, it would just be nice if it could be like official use, like,
yes,
you know, actually.
Yeah, there are a couple areas that you actually can get down by the water without too much difficulty. So you could have two or three areas where we could go in and get right down by the water.
Yeah, I mean, all those parcels looked like it was a developer that it fell through, because they were all kind of chopped up like it was, you know, there's a couple of cul-de-sacs, and it was, would have been a really nice like neighborhood. But if it's just going to sit there, it'd be nice to have something, you know.
Mike, did we ever get a determination? I know that when we were doing the cluster developments in town, there was land that was given back to open space. Did we ever get a determination? Because I know Lauren couldn't figure it out, that the chapter 140 land automatically became chapter 97 land. Like, there was a way and process that I think there's some confusion on if it automatically did it. Now it automatically goes to 97, but before, all the land that was 140 or open space or recreation, was it just assumed it went that way? Do you remember? We were talking about if that was the case. Still got to unmute yourself. There you go.
I have not talked to him about that. Okay. I'll talk to John. I have a 50-foot, 25-foot easement.
Yeah, because Lauren couldn't figure out what the determination was if that happened. Like, it was, a lot of towns had actually petitioned the state to make that transition, and I know that we were told that it was just automatic, but I don't believe it was automatic. But I could be wrong.
They're the ones who need the easement to conduct their business. So I don't think LPS. This is my opinion. I don't think LPS is responsible for.
So Mike, you'll follow up on that too.
I will.
Okay. Awesome. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate your time. Thanks for multitasking.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Bye.
I felt like I had voices in my head with Mike on the call. I was like, I texted him, Paul, I'm like, are you in another meeting? He's like, no, Mike is.
Sorry. I was infiltrated. I got I'm gonna lay down here. I snuck out of my bedroom. Okay, Paul, you're up.
Okay.
Town planner updates. Fire away. It's been a long, even though we had a little holiday in there, it's been a long time since we met.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening. I saw on the agenda the guidebook. The only update I have on that is I have made a request to Mike about the use of the American Rescue Plan Act funds. And one of my proposals was to use some funding to help produce the guide, the business guidebook. So, you know, just to get a professional look on it, and, you know, to get a little more capacity to do it. So I don't know where he is in that process in terms of selecting projects. I know that right now the federal government hasn't determined yet. Some towns are moving forward with ARPA funds, but they haven't gotten the full blessing of the federal government. So anyway, but that's in there. So we talked about the master plan, but the local rapid recovery plan. So that, you know, that was finalized about a month ago. It was right around the same time that we approved the master plan. So it has a number of actions in it that we will need to do. Fortunately, we received a grant recently to do a parking management study, which was one of the recommendations in the report. So we got approved. The contract has been signed for that. So in fact, I'm meeting with the consultant tomorrow to scope that out, but that process won't take very long, about 6 months. So we'll be looking at the parking needs and come up with strategies for West Main Street. So that's a good thing. The thing I've really got to focus in on is really start building grassroots relationships with businesses there. And that's the heavy lift, is to start getting some of the, you know, the people that I know that I have a closer relationship with, and start talking to them about how do we just start moving this thing forward and start building momentum with these other businesses, because there's roughly 90 businesses in that area, and we don't get a great deal of response or excitement out of this. But I think if we're able to support it with some financing and some, you know, opportunities that will meet the needs of those businesses, but we really need to get we need to get more information from businesses about what they need in that area. So, you know, one of the ARPA requests I made of Mike is we can use it to hire staff. And I put a recommendation in to hire an admin, or not an admin, but a person to help spend time with the businesses and do some data research and do a lot of the baseline things that we need to do to really start moving this plan forward. So if not, we'll have to figure out a way, but we've got to do it. So
Paul, how many would you mentioned 90 businesses in that area? Like how many have you actually had contact with, or some response?
With response, I was going to say we've contacted every one of them. You know, 15 or 20. Okay. And some of those were just one-time touches, you know, but we're going to keep on hammering away at it. But we've got to just start, I think, just working with a few of the businesses to figure out what's the best way to start this thing going forward. You know, we have some ideas, but I need to run it through some people in the business area to make sure that it makes sense. That, you know, so fortunately, you know, I have some good relationships with, like, you know, Bog Iron, with Bridget's, you know, a few other companies. They're busy, you know, and so I get it, but we need to, you know, we want this, we need this plan to really happen. We want an impact out of it, right? So that's where we're going to keep focusing. So we've got our game plan out of the local rapid recovery plan to start moving forward. We're working with the state to identify more funding resources for it. The state's been stepping up. Let's see where if they actually have implementation dollars, which they say they were going to, but we'll see. One little bit of success that we've had are with these short videos we've been doing for these promotional videos. We just did our 4th one yesterday with a new company, an interior design company called Everyone's Envy. It's a woman named Marilyn Ray. She works out of her house on South Worcester. She did a great job, and I hopefully tomorrow or Friday the video will be available and get it out there. It's been great, with so many people sharing the links to the videos. Bog's over 500 views. Bridget's is, I think, over 400. We did also the residents at Great Woods, which I wouldn't expect to have a big number, but they're at about 150 views. I know Bridget and Bridget's daughter and Brian at Bog Iron have said that a few people have come in after seeing the video. So, that's what we were trying to shoot for. The whole thing was about them getting more business. So we'll keep doing it. And, for the time being, we'll see what this one for Everyone's Envy is done. The owner of the new BeFit Norton has reached out and wants to have a video done. He's down right at the town line with Attleboro. It was the old.
What is it? The owner of what? Paul, I just missed that.
BeFit Norton.
BeFit. Okay.
Used to be 1440.
Yeah,
I was thinking beef, like meat. I knew I heard it wrong. I'm like, I don't think we have like a butcher.
I would love that.
No, we don't. We don't. Well, not anymore. So we've got that. And I just put out an email yesterday to local business. So a lot of the emails that I have for restaurants and retail stores asking them if they'd like a video done. So hopefully a few more will take advantage of it.
Just so you know, Paul, we do have a butcher. It's a poultry barn.
Oh yeah.
They haven't shown an interest in doing a video, Hernandez.
I don't have contact info there or email, so I've got to keep.
But you may in a minute.
Yeah, I could see he's working on it. I'll get it to them.
So, hey, Paul,
what else on the economic development front?
Paul, but before you go on, can I ask? And I think Laura has a question too. Go ahead, Laura.
Yes. Sorry, mine's very quick. The Everyone Envy, you said the video will be up Friday?
I hope.
Okay.
They usually turn it around. The media center turns it around in a few days.
Okay. So I've been posting them on the EDC page, and then I've been also posting them as the EDC on the Norton pages. I'm encountering some resistance, and it's not resistance, it's their rules. So the Norton Mass one has a no business listing whatsoever. But they let the first one go in and they rejected the second. So I reached out to them and just said, I kind of feel it's a little bit different. It's not a self-promotion. We're not, it's coming from the town in order to kind of support the town and make people aware of other things. They had a discussion. They were supposed to get back to me and I didn't hear from them. So I just tried the next one. They did allow it. So I think we're okay there. The one that we're going to struggle with is the Norton Connect. They do allow business postings, but only on Friday. So if I don't hit them on Friday, I've got to wait a whole other week, which is what happened with the memory care center. So that one went out like literally a week after the first one because I had just missed it. I think I posted it on a Saturday or a Sunday morning whenever I had time. So
and I need to start. I'm not fluent in Facebook or whatever they call themselves now, but I try to tag, tag's not the right word, but try to connect with them, and it's just you know,
help them out, Cody.
What, Cody?
I said, help them out. Give them the lingo. Give you the lingo you need, Paul.
The best thing to do is to ask to be added to the group. So as your page, not as your personal account.
Yeah, I don't have a personal account. That's why you didn't recognize me. Because I was like, I'm not giving my personal name. That's why I just came up with Norton PDD, Planning and Economic Development Department.
Oh, that was you?
That's me.
Okay.
Well, it's the departments.
Got it.
See, that's the problem is that
I didn't know who was messaging me.
I thought I put my name in after. Anyway.
No.
Yeah, the more we can get that out, and the objective is to get more people to go to these businesses. So, but I'd really like to get more retail because they're just much more noticeable than a service, because you might, most people, are going to probably look at interior design or the residence and just go, not of interest, whereas if it's a retail store, that's got a much larger potential audience. But they both, those folks all did a great job during the interview. I need to do a better job. I need to start taking classes on how to interview or find somebody else to do the role that I'm doing, but I'm just glad it seems to be going well.
You're doing great.
You know what, Paul, you should push it out to like other people at town hall to say, would you guys like the opportunity to form a relationship, and it's something different. Maybe Mike would allow that.
Other people at town hall?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Other people work for the town to say, would you be interested? Like we have these businesses who would like to do a video. Would you be interested in interviewing them?
Oh, again, I don't have an ego. I know this was my initiative, but I don't need to be in front of the camera. It's all about helping those businesses. And yeah, we could get some good people out there, but yeah, we'll see if anyone's interested, because I think a lot of people are going to be camera shy. It is something when the light turns red,
Is it something that we could reach out to Wheaton and partner with them? I'm sure they have people that are studying broadcast or journalism or something like that, and it'd be a way for them to build their portfolio, their resume.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they could schedule it on the time that the businesses need to be there. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is the scheduling. You're just scheduling your time, my time with the business and then with the media center. But yeah, again, I think if this could broaden, I think that's great.
I'll mention it to
as long as I get executive producer credits.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll mention it to my wife. She's got connections still to Wheaton, and some of her friends are still connected and work at Wheaton. So
they definitely have people, Cody, because I've been interviewed. I mean, it's been radio, and then somebody after it may have been actually Alyssa's community forum information session. I got an email from one of them, like asking questions, saying, "Oh, I saw you attended this. What are your thoughts on things?" So they have a group there. It's just a matter of if they'd want to be in person. I think that's a great idea, though.
It's a liberal arts school, so they should have plenty of artists.
Yeah.
Artists, looking for work to do for their build that resume.
So Paul, just quickly before you go on, do you have a list, like a distribution list now of the business owners?
For West Main Street?
Just business owners in Norton, like those that you reach out to for different things? And I asked because
it's incomplete, but it's growing.
Yeah, well, I had a conversation with Andre a few weeks ago with Solar Retail Norton, like just to touch base, see how the things were going, if they were still on target and stuff like that. And it was before the Halloween parade, and we were actually talking about that. And a couple of things that he had mentioned to me. One is that he asked, I told him I'd get him in touch with the Parks and Rec director to get on their distribution list, right? So that they have opportunities to support the community as well. But that was right when she had left. So I haven't given him any names, but he was really interested in not only being included on that distribution list, but he said, if there's anything else where we bring businesses together, or you're just communicating out to them for information or, you know, awareness. But he said what would be really helpful, and he'd love to even consider like hosting it once they open up or right before they open up, but to have like a, you know, business owners from Norton come in and just have like a meet and greet type session, do some networking.
Sure.
So I know we've talked about that as a group. So, you know, just mentioning it, I don't know if he's going to be open by the end of the year. The building will probably be up and ready. So maybe it could be an opportunity for us to kind of help facilitate or coordinate that, to bring local business owners together, you know, as a networking opportunity.
And it would be nice if we did some sort of remote, you know, the grand opening, you know, something like that. I think of other companies. I mean, there's things that we can do. It's just, again, it's prioritizing it, right? It's what, you know, it's just trying to make it happen based on the resources that we have. But, you know, there are things, maybe nothing too extravagant, but I would really love when we get a grand opening to at least be able to put it out there on Facebook and on the web page, that we can really promote it. You know, they can, and if they have something that they've recorded, maybe we can put it out there for them too. I think those are great ideas.
Yeah. So I don't know if you still have his email. You should have his
Andre?
email. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But if you could just add him to your list, right?
Oh, he's just, I
is he already on that list
Andre,
that when you go out to businesses, he's there? Okay.
Well, he's not completed yet, but I've got Andre's info.
Okay. Yeah. So but he was really excited. Like he had mentioned, you know, I mentioned Earth Day and you know, the town cleanup. And he said that he'd really like to have some participation there. Yeah. So that's why I said to him, I said, well, I'll get your email address and your contact information to the right person, but now we don't have a person. So, but just something to consider. He did say, you know, when we were talking about the Halloween parade, he said that there are they have to be careful with things that are associated with kids, just because of the type of business they are. But, you know, we can look at other opportunities for that. But he was really interested in getting more involved in the community, being that they're going to open up soon. Yeah,
I mean, we've got to take all of that into consideration, but also then realize we've got a few main priorities. It's a lot of work. West Main Street's a lot of work. The master plan is going to be a lot of work, you know, but I think, you know, looking at tools that help our local businesses is also a big part of it, you know, and broadly speaking throughout town. So, you know, whatever we can do to help existing businesses, whether it's through advertisement, marketing, training, you know, providing access to training in some ways, you know, we need to do it. You know, we need to do that. And of course, recruiting businesses to come here too.
Paul, what I would recommend, one of the things that it's not a small business but Plantation Products would be a really cool interview in town. People don't realize they're the largest seed company. If you buy seeds, they come from Plantation Products in the United States. People don't. You just pick up a seed pack anywhere, Walmart. Flip it over. It says Plantation Products, Norton, Mass. And it would be cool. And they got a big staff, and it'd be one of those feel goods for the town interviews, I think. And I know that the CEO is pretty playful in his own right, and he might be open to it. So they've actually got locations all over the country too. So, and then one follow-up, I sent you that email. But,
I've got it.
How close are you with Joe Fernandez?
With Joe? Well, he's no longer on the board, so.
But you knew if you called him up, he may pick up your call. He can also help you make it. Yeah, I'm not sure if you know, Dennis is Joe's brother.
No, I didn't know that, but I know Joe. I know Joe well.
So on the and I mean Fernandez poultry. I'm sorry, produce barn is obviously is very involved. So
yeah.
What better story than a hardware, liquor store, and grocery store all in one?
That was their vision. I mean, if you ever hear them tell the story, it's like they were determined to make that happen. And when they got denied the liquor license, they were like, oh, and then it obviously passed through special legislation. So.
This is sort of a segue. So Sandy's not here. She came up with an idea that she was actually going to bring up in the last meeting, and we got canceled. So time's running a little short, but I'm going to try and sell it on her behalf. Yes. So in a way, it's kind of a way to, obviously it's to promote local businesses, but it's also a way to get more people to follow the EDC page. So she was initially thinking doing a month-long, which it starts now, shop for the holidays type of campaign, where we would feature businesses every couple of days, and we could try and schedule them all ahead and make sure they all get out there. So she was thinking in terms of categories, like for home decor. She was thinking Cozy Creations and the place on North Worcester, whose name escapes me. Pampering, we could do massage, hair, nails, that type of thing. Restaurants, either to go or buy gift cards or food to get your holiday food, and restaurants that serve, do catering for holiday dinners. And because we've got so many restrictions on the Norton pages specifically, what we could do is advertise, that we're running this promotion there, and then encourage people to actually go to and make sure that they're following the EDC, so they could see them. And then and when we announce, we can ask people, to reach out. Well, she was initially thinking we could ask them to reach out to us if they had any specific holiday promotions going on. But she, given the kind of the time constraints and where we are, she was saying it might be better if we just have them post a comment within that section that applies to them, whichever post it is, if they've got anything specific to add, or if they happen to be running any particular deals. So she wanted me to run that by folks. She did start a Google Sheets with a few categories, and started working on a few posts, but wanted to get feedback from the group in terms of, now that we have the database, it makes it obviously a little bit easier as well, to find the categories that we're looking for, and make sure that we are getting as many of the different categories in there as possible. So I've done my pitch for Sandy.
I liked it. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I do too. I told her that, a few weeks ago, and, she said, we would need some help. I said, I'm happy to help. And then, life happens. So, if we were to do it, we've got to kind of get our asses in gear and start it almost immediately. And
how do you see that process playing out, Laura? Like, we would reach out to a business owner and say, hey, we'd like to feature you with just like a quick, 3 or 4 sentence introduction. And
yeah, so in the initial post, she'd already written it and said, in the coming weeks, EDC will be sharing ideas from Norton businesses that can help you shop local. Since promotions aren't allowed on all of the various group pages, please like the EDC to get updates. I'm not exactly sure how she was planning on reaching out to the individual businesses, other than potentially maybe tagging them, because most of them do have a Facebook page. Yeah, it's going to be time intensive. We may not necessarily have emails for every single business. Yeah, the database is decent. It's well filled in, but it's impossible to get the contact information for absolutely everybody, especially when it's only a Facebook page that they're running and not necessarily a website. So finding, some cases it's going to be, we may have to actually direct message them using Facebook Messenger to get a hold of them.
Or could we just show up at their door?
Yeah, that's a little bit more time intensive too. You know, I don't think anybody's going to be, you know, ideally it would be nice, you know, if they knew they could put promotions out there, but it may be we're getting past the point where maybe it's just more important to, you know, make sure that we're advertising and, you know, let them reap in some publicity or some marketing.
I like the idea. I like the promotions or holiday specials. And I think about like order of it, I think when you hit on the catering and the food, like that's probably something to start with because it usually requires more lead time.
Yeah.
Like going to a store to purchase something.
Yep. Yep. So I will relay that message back.
Denise, Cody, or Michael, anything to add? Or Paul?
We may need
to say if they're already on Facebook and they're posting they're posting it already, they can tag the EDC page, and then the EDC can share it. And if they should be using, hopefully they should be using the hashtag, the Norton for Biz.
Yeah, we're not getting a lot of traction on that one.
Yeah, so there's been any real. There's been no movement.
No.
Getting the word out there other than me tagging, companies that I follow.
What I thought was going to happen is if I put in the comments, so for a couple of weeks, anytime any of the businesses that we follow were posting, I would comment as the EDC with the hashtag. And I was hoping that would kind of drive but it doesn't. It's only when it's in the post. If it's in the comments, it doesn't. So when you click on the link, all of the posts that I tagged Norton for Biz in the comments don't show up, which kind of stunk. So Sandy and I were talking, and I actually did, again, it's another great idea if we had the bandwidth. So in a lot of cases, I don't think businesses understand what the hashtag actually does. They don't see it as something that's functional. I think they just think it's a cute thing they saw on Instagram, and, they throw up a million of them just to, they're not just descriptors, they're functional. And I don't think a lot of businesses specifically understand that. So I did do a, kind of a primer for them, but the only way to get it to them is to literally direct message each individual company. And, it's a cut and paste job, but it's more of, finding the hour to get it done. And I haven't gotten there yet.
So I'm not sure exactly how it works, but if they're posting and they just tag, so they just do @EDC and tag the EDC Facebook page, it should send it to you, and then you should just be able to reshare it. And if they didn't do the hashtag Norton for Biz, then you can add it with the share.
Yeah.
But if the EDC page is going to be where that kind of is aggregated for all of those, all the local stuff for the next month, that's a good way of doing it.
What about a promotion on the EDC page, right? Like a little one pager that hits the, hashtag Norton for Biz, hits the post here for promotions, right? That we can post, we can send out, we can drop off copies, anything like that.
Copies of
just the little information to say, hey, here's what the hashtag does. If you're active on Facebook, you could do this. If you're not active and you want us to post something on your behalf, contact us, right?
It might just be as simple to just start posting, just buy, shop local, go to our Norton businesses. And, people can figure out how to search their website, or, it's not like Norton's a big town, and it's not like we have thousands of retailers, but it may just be a good reminder that, to help our local businesses. And we have some stores that might provide things for them. Maybe we can throw the supply chain issue out there at them and say, look, go to, check out some of our local stores. They might have what, you know, it's a good chance they'll have what you're looking for.
So
there's not much time left to, to really think a lot about it. And it may just be a little nudge reminder to tell people to, shop local.
Well, Laura, let me start there. I mean, everyone's activity on the page, and I know you're leading the charge, Laura. It's been great. I wouldn't beat yourself up too hard on this. These things happen and then they'll pick up over time. I'm curious on this. One of the things that I don't think we've done is I don't think we've opened up a business account with Meta. I'm going to call it Meta now, but Facebook. And basically that will allow us to advertise. Not that we're going to advertise right now or expand the posts, but that might be something where we might be able to, approach Paul. Sorry, Paul, we need a little bit of money here, and actually advertise a boost, put a post out there, like the EDC page, you can advertise different road actions, right? And you'd show up from there. That's how you're going to do this, right? I mean, Michael Toole for select board, it's like, Jesus, we see this guy everywhere. Well, it's because I may have paid to be visible, right? I mean, that's how we're going to increase the likes to a point of, and then once you get to that point, it just balloons, right? I mean, what do they say? The magic number is like 1,500. Once you get 1,500, it starts to really catch on. So I'm not sure if that's feasible, Paul. I'm not sure, but maybe that's what we do. And we basically do the advertising. You can do it within a 1 mile radius of Norton Center. So we know that we're just focusing on Norton businesses. You can also, on that page, we just did the database. We have all these emails now. You can upload those emails in there and focus those people and redirect those people to the page. So, I mean, those are just some of the ideas when we talk about it. Organically getting likes is tough. It's just tough.
Yeah.
So maybe that's, and by the way, you've done an amazing job. I mean, you're all over. I can see the efforts you're putting in. I'm like, oh, geez, there she goes again, right? Just with posts and reposts and all that. My hat's off to you. And I don't mean this, but maybe that's something that we look at. Regarding Sandy's comments, I love them. I just think we might be a little bit too late for the holiday season. And I think what I would love to do is say, know that we're going to make a declaration now that next Christmas, we're going to have a program where we may ask donations from local businesses, and we'll maybe do a raffle off. Maybe there's something that Bridget's wanted to raffle off, or maybe we can buy something from Bridget's and raffle that off, or so forth. I think to try to do it this year for Christmas, I would love to see it twice a year, maybe in June and December. But I think all the activities we're talking about are great. It's just a matter of, one of the things that I think we would all agree is, let's try to focus on a couple of real big projects and try to bring them home.
Am I the only one who hasn't started Christmas shopping?
What?
Or any planning for Christmas?
Something, I'm usually a Christmas Eve shopper, and I'm almost done. Yeah,
I'm about halfway.
Everyone was scared by, shop early. But what's everybody's thought regarding starting up on a business page and trying to post it that way? I mean, this stuff costs money, obviously, but
I have one question. Are we able to convert the existing page, because we're already following all of the local businesses and we've got a decent number of followers, and I'd hate to start from scratch.
Do we meet the requirements to do that?
No, something, Sandy, I think the way I set this up, I believe when I originally set this up, I believe I set it so we could do it as a business page. Like you can buy advertising. Let me just kind of, what I'll do is I have to poke around it a little bit, but I can.
Are you talking about your own personal one, Michael?
No, I'm talking about the EDC page. So when I'm the one who started the EDC page way back when, right? When I set it up, it was set up so I believe you could do that. I just have to figure out. I haven't played around with the commercialization any of the Facebook pages in a while, and they've moved things around a lot.
I don't remember this particular page being set up a long time ago.
Well, no, you've got to enter it as, and you have to register. So not every page is registered as a business, like meaning you've got to enter the Facebook like business section, right? And then you got to, it's not automatically there. So let me just see. I mean, I'm talking, I don't want to talk out of turn either, which right now I am. So I'm looking at the page.
Yeah, and every time I go out here, they've moved something or changed something. So
right
now we have
crazy. Yeah. It's gotten crazy how much they're changing the pages and the functionalities.
So we are following 227 businesses and in some cases other entities, municipal or government entities, and we have 400 followers, which, you know, is a decent number. Every time we do posts, we seem to get, you know, a few more here and there.
So Renee, we're set up here. We've got boost functionalities. So as soon as you get into boost functionalities, that's where you can do that. You can boost any kind of post, and you can boost to request for likes. You can boost all that stuff.
Yeah, I know how to do it, but like in converting it to a business page, that was my question. That do we meet the requirements for that? I mean, if we can boost already, I wouldn't do any conversion. We should just.
I don't think
we have the funds boost. Right.
I don't think we need to convert to it. Why?
I thought that's what you were saying.
No. I'm saying going to when I say the business stuff, I mean, I'm talking about Facebook. Like you can't boost personal posts. You can boost. We're listed in this. I'm just talking about acting more as a business and boosting stuff.
So there's a button at the top of the page under About, and there's a megaphone where it says Promote.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at it right
Customated ad, create a new ad, boost a post. So I mean, if I haven't done this before, I've never run a page, so I'm assuming that takes.
We can do special ads. We can do
money. I'm assuming they don't do this for free.
Yeah, we can actually. We have all the functionality of choose people that like our page, target. We have a targeting mechanism. People who like your page and their friends. Yeah, so, I mean, you have a full gamut of opportunities here through social media that you can start spending money to try to get what we're talking about trying to achieve and get people using the Facebook page.
Can I show you an example that Foxborough's doing?
Do it.
Sure.
Okay. I know they have a buy local program, and this is a Facebook page that they have. And looks like it's just really geared toward retail, like who's got the best onion rings. Well, that just got posted, but they have advertisements for their local companies.
Cool.
Not a huge number of likes, but still it's an approach that they're taking. This is something that we could certainly create.
Oh, that's a cool video.
So you're saying their EDC runs this?
I don't know who's running it.
Because it looks like it's just a community page.
It might be, but they also
scroll up a little bit. It tells you who's scroll up. So it tells you what it's about. Keep going up. No. I'm just in the About section. See the About section in the left hand side?
Yeah, it's right there. It doesn't say who they are.
We should be able to see who the admins are, right?
Yeah.
Only if they allow it.
Go to maybe just hit the whole About page.
Click on the About in that toolbar.
There you go.
Founded 2006. This is already, we've seen this.
Since 2006, they've got 111 people on this page.
Yeah, that's pitiful. I'm sorry.
Well, it's just the idea that they would, that is a, and I don't know who they are, but I know that I see this. I'm going to share this again.
See, one of the key things with that is trying to just be able to add a sub page within Facebook. And so you could do, which basically will just feed up to the bigger economic development page.
Yeah, but
you're pressing me on Facebook tonight, guys. I'm sorry.
But this is something I've got to check with the planning director in Foxborough. Shop local. There's a shop local Foxborough. She gave me something a while back about how they initiated this, but they've got a shop local Foxborough campaign that started last year.
Well, it was it was a cool event that I saw that Mansfield did this week. The Mansfield's Business Center basically hosts the Santa Parade. It's really cool. It's a cool event.
Yeah, a lot of it's doing events. Right. And maybe we need to do a winter, a holiday event. We should do a holiday event. That's what's going to bring people in. That's one of the things we're going to try to do with West Main Street is plan an event, maybe in the, late spring, early summer, to do something where there's music and then have some of the local businesses bring food to it or something to bring people into, onto West Main Street again.
Are we doing that this year? Is that happening on the Common? Does anyone know? So holiday Santa house.
I think there was a lighting, but I didn't see anything else.
Yeah, that's a
what was that, Cody?
There was the lighting, I guess, like tree lighting or something that was supposed to be happening this coming weekend on the Common. But nothing linked to businesses.
Did we share the Sabatino's one? The one that says, help us this holiday season and take a tag off the giving tree? I don't know what I'm on, but I'm seeing like posts from Bridget's, posts from Sabatino's, T-Mac.
On our page?
I'm logged in as the EDC and I'm seeing it.
Yeah, that's because we've followed all of these businesses. That's why.
So we followed it. So but I had to log in as the EDC to see it. Like I couldn't see it as myself.
Correct.
So how do we get these to show on the EDC page for anybody that's following us?
They would have to specifically tag the EDC. I can't think of any other.
Yeah, because like Bridget
it's
has
like
the
when
thing on a new,
it's like when your friend tags
Santa.
you and you show up on their timeline, and they show up on their post shows up on your timeline.
But me viewing the EDC doesn't show these.
No.
Because I mean it's great for us, but if nobody else can see them.
Well, the people who are following EDC's page would see them. So the 400 people who are following us sees the posts that go on our timeline.
Right, but not the things that what I'm saying is I had a very different view when I was in as myself and I followed the EDC than when I actually logged in as the EDC. Like, and so kind of what Sandy was saying, like, can we promote them? Like some of them are doing it now, right? Like Mac and Waltz put out a post for December brownies. Like, do we just share them back to the EDC page?
You can, but some of these businesses literally post multiple times a day. I mean, if you look at the the timeline of the EDC page, I
understand that.
It's a full-time, a full-time job to get these over to our page. And they have to be shareable. The easier way of doing it, if they want to be promoted on our page, is to tag us. Otherwise, it's literally sharing it, every single one of these.
The other thing, Renee, which is pretty helpful, that would be invite your friends and Laura's friends. So you see it says build your page audience up in the upper left-hand corner. I've done this a couple times, but prior, it's been a while. But then you basically go there, and then but instead of all friends, you hit that where it says up top all friends, and then you choose a group like Norton Neighbors. So it looks at all the people that you're friends with that follow Norton Neighbors, and you can invite them.
No, I understand that, but I'm going back to Sandy's proposal, right? Like, how do we highlight specific groups, and they're already doing it. Like, my question is how do we just take, like, Sweet Stuff Bake Shop has, we're taking orders now for Christmas Eve. This is the special, like Cake Confections was in there. Like, how do we take these and kind of make, like, it's already out there. Like, we don't have to recreate anything to do it, to do like a promotion for the holidays. Like, how do we take these and make sure that they're on the EDC page? Do we just share them share them back to the EDC page?
Unfortunately, this is a full-time social media person. To your answer, yes.
Well, I'm not looking for full-time. I'm just looking, like, can we scroll through these and find the ones that we're already talking about? Because it's either we go out to them or we create something that's going to take us a half hour, an hour, or we just share what they've already put back, right? So it's less time to just share it back. But I'm just saying, it goes back to my ad. When I was logged in as myself, I don't see any of these, and it would be great to scroll through the EDC page to see those. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah. The only way to do it right now, where it doesn't involve any work or outreach to these businesses, is to as long as their post is shareable, we can share it over to the EDC page.
Do we share it to the newsfeed, or we just share it to public? I'm just going to click the button.
I think that's just one and the same.
No, it has to, you got to do share to newsfeed.
So,
okay.
I do see that.
I just hit share to newsfeed, and then it just says write the post.
Looks like you share. Oh God, there's 3 of them.
I only clicked 2 buttons. You said one and the same, so I clicked the first one, then I clicked the other one, but I haven't posted it yet. So there should only be one.
There are now 3 shared posts for the Sweet Stuff Bake Shop on our timeline.
Did somebody else click it at the same time?
Nope.
I did not even see the Sweet Stuff Bake Shop post.
So there's an error in Facebook.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Just remove it.
Yeah.
What's the hashtag again?
Norton 4 is.
There it is. Fewer than 1,000 posts. I can go back and delete this, but let's see how this.
Just said, hey, somebody liked one of them already. It's Cody.
That's me.
So now do you see the post?
I saw 3 of them.
I still see 3 of them. I see 4 of them now. One.
Hang on, I'm refreshing.
How is it duplicating?
I don't know. All right. Now I see, check out these holiday treats from a local Norton business with the Norton for Biz hashtag. So I see that first one.
Yeah. So that's the one I did share to news feed.
Yeah.
And then.
All right. I see one of those and then 3 of the others.
Agreed. I see the 2.
So which one is views better? Just the share, the three others, or the news feed one?
They both look the same.
Okay. But the one is going to tag it with the hashtag, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if I can somehow delete the multiple ones.
Should be easy enough. I could probably do it. Delete post. There we go. Let's see if I delete one, if it deletes all of them.
Yeah, keep the newsfeed one where the hashtag is on there.
All right, it says the post has been deleted, but I still see 3. So let me refresh again. Oh, wait, there's a new one.
I saw that too.
Kate.
Yeah, that's a newsfeed one. It should only show there once, right?
All right, so I've now deleted the second extraneous sweet stuff post, and now I'm getting rid of the 3rd. Okay. One of the things we need to be cognizant of as well is if we do one business, we should do all of them. So, and that gets time consuming.
Well, I mean, again, it goes back to your point of tag the EDC, right? We can only do so much.
But we need to reach out to them to tell them to tag the EDC.
Yeah, we can do that.
Or use the hashtag.
Yeah, and that's why I put it on the newsfeed with the hashtag, right?
Yeah.
Whole point of the hashtag.
So I think it'd be probably more efficient if I did just go out and direct message from the EDC, all of these businesses, explain what the hashtag does, explain how to use it, and then add a piece in there about, and if you tag the EDC in your post, it will automatically show up in our timeline as well, exposing you to more people.
Right.
That's a perfect overview.
Okay. It's just, yeah. I will.
If it's time consuming, I mean, we can split it up. Right? We have 4 admins on the page, so we can see everybody we're following.
Yeah, it's a cut and paste. It's not horrible.
Shouldn't even be a cut and paste. You should just be able to share. If they've already posted it, you should just be able to share.
Oh, I see.
If they've posted it themselves on their own Facebook page, even if they tagged you, you can still reshare it.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about reaching out to them to tell them to use the hashtags and to tag the EDC. Let me find the Norton for Biz campaign.
I just got this thing, book a time with Sabatino's to discuss your needs or perform a service. What the heck is this?
So this is what I had originally written to go out to them via Messenger, saying, you know, from the EDC, did you know that hashtags, when used correctly, can actually help you reach more people? Hashtags are not just cute descriptors, they're functional. They provide a way of labeling your content, making it discoverable to new potential customers you may not otherwise reach. It's free and easy marketing. When someone clicks a hashtag, they will see a feed of all of the posts that include the same hashtag. To steer more customers to Norton businesses, the EDC has rolled out the Norton for Biz hashtag campaign. By using that hashtag on all of your business posts, it will allow new potential customers to discover and follow you. The more businesses that use the hashtag, the more exposure it generates for all Norton businesses.
So can you trim it down a little bit and add in the add EDC, tag EDC in your post?
Yeah, I can add that to the last paragraph.
Laura, just to save time, couldn't you just do like a mass blind copy email to the ones that you do have emails for, and then you just have to message the ones that don't have emails, that only have Facebook?
Yeah, I think I'd rather target directly the ones that I don't know. Yeah, at this point, we follow, if there's a business in Norton, we are following it. I have hunted down every single Facebook page that's out there. And since this is Facebook specific, I understand yours is definitely more efficient, but we're going to be hitting 5 times the number of people that have Facebook pages. Potentially. Well, no, because not a lot of these are actual public-facing companies. And I think if we're already following them,
they should pop up. That's what I was trying to see. Is there a way to?
Yeah, like I should be able to. So the first, yeah, well, no, not mass select them, but I can go to. See, the problem is that like I'm looking at Jasmine Garden right now. Jasmine Garden doesn't have. I don't see that they have messages open. Whereas, let's go to.
What if we just did a post and tagged them all?
We would still need to collect their Facebook. We need a way to do it. Yeah, I've already been to 2, 3 more. I don't see how you message even a lot of these companies. Not a lot of them are open with.
They don't have Messenger. That's
yeah.
They shut it down now.
Yeah, Sabatino's, no. Martial Arts Connection, nope. So no, so even my plan isn't going to work. It doesn't look like, unless I'm missing something. Let's go to Steve Howitt, because if anybody is probably looking to talk to constituents, nope, no messenger. Nothing for Chateau.
What if we did it as an ad? What if we created a new ad with all the information that you put out there? Because isn't creating an ad free? It's just boosting it that you pay for?
I don't know. I don't really, I'm still kind of learning how the business pages work.
The only people that would see your ad at that point are people that have already liked your page. Not really an ad, it's a post that you're.
Yeah, even under the contact or the about section, there's no way to, which is interesting because there is a hang on, I'm gonna go to the one that I normally.
Laura, what are you trying to do exactly?
I'm going to.
Yeah, we just.
Pages that we are following.
Mm-hmm.
and seeing if there is I'm trying to find the way to Facebook message them directly. And I know I've seen it because, when you've gone to a page and it says, have a question, message us here. And then, Facebook will say, this company usually responds within 12 hours. So I know it's done, but I just don't see it on any of the pages that we're specifically following.
I see Paul's Norton Ped in there. Hey, Paul, can you like spell out ped or something?
No, Facebook wants an actual name or something that looks like a name. They wouldn't allow the department name. So, they want you to put your personal account in there. I'm like, nope, no, Mark Zuckerberg, no, not happening.
Maybe capitalize ped, all the letters in ped.
No, it'll pick it up as a false name, as a not a last name.
So you created like a profile, first name Norton, last name Ped.
Well, that's how. Well, I don't have a Facebook, and the only way you can create a page is to have a profile. And so we had this from a couple years ago, but Nicole was managing it. But when she left, we're not using her Facebook, so she was doing all the posting. But when she left, I was like, I'm not adding my account to Facebook. But we were like, we realized we had to get going again, so I outsmarted Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
That's what it was, Paul.
And you know what? And at that time, and the other thing too is at some point when I'm no longer, with the town, it just stays with the department. That's all we were trying to do, was set up a departmental account, but Facebook doesn't work that way. So I had to. So Norton Ped became the the pseudonym for it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. C. Giuseppe pseudonym.
Yeah, I probably would have not recognized it as a human name anyway. But this may be something to take offline. I mean, I know for me, if I'm working on this, I can't do it in a group setting.
Yeah. Okay. Anything more on this?
Yeah, I
Laura, you want to research it a bit, or Cody, if you have any tips on how we could do it?
No, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to do it.
But this is the point of why we need an association. Everybody's doing it individually. An association could help bring this all together.
Well, if the campaign for Norton for Biz hashtag gets going, I mean, that it'll run itself if people just start using it. And we just have to get the word out to the companies that are posting constantly on Facebook and Instagram and all the other stuff. If they remember to use it. I try and go in, but I didn't realize, Laura, you're right. Whenever you comment it in the comment section, it doesn't link it back. I think if you comment it in in the comments, and you click on it in the comments, it'll take you back to the original post, but it doesn't take the post.
I thought I was doing great, and you
Sandy's have to reshare it. Essentially that's what you have to do. I started a business page for Norton for Biz. What I'm going to start doing is I'll just start sharing from that with the hashtag. But again, it's like, one person doing it is not. We've got to get the people that are actually posting it to start utilizing the hashtag.
So I think what we need to do is figure out what's the best way to get it in front of them easily.
When they're, I mean, Mike was looking at doing something for yard signs and static cling decals and stuff like that, where they can like,
oh yeah,
like put it on their front door, put it on their car, like whatever they want to do, just so it's at the top of their mind whenever they're doing this. Like you may have 150 followers, but if you do the hashtag, it reaches out to 1,000 followers.
I'm talking more about how do we train them? They don't understand what the hashtags are and what they actually do. They just think they're, that's why some businesses have 32 hashtags. They're just, cute little descriptors that don't actually do anything. So my question is how do we get the guidance or the training to them in an efficient manner if we can't direct message them on Facebook?
The other side of that, Laura, I everyone, I just joined. The other side of that, Laura, is people I think who use Facebook don't know how to necessarily search them and use them to do in the way that we're looking for. And I also noticed that people are using Norton Mass and Norton MA a lot as far as the businesses. If you look at Norton MA, you see a ton of businesses that are using that, people that are that are adding that to their hashtag. So I think on both ends, I don't think it's getting people on Facebook right now, like in their personal pages, just use hashtags as like a parenthetical, right? Like as an extra little aside, as opposed to actually what the real use of a hashtag is. And it's not like Twitter where you can follow a hashtag as easily. Like a tweet deck or something on Twitter, you can follow and you can keep that up on your feed. You can't really do that with Facebook. So it's a little harder for people to even figure out how to use it.
I mean, the overall issue here too is marketing is a very broad thing. It's not one thing, it's a whole series of actions. And I think part of it, we need to get help.
Yeah, I agree with that, Paul, getting help. But Laura, have you thought, I know you said you were responding with the comment, as a comment to just put hashtag Norton for Biz. What if what you just read, what you already created, what if you comment with that to inform them?
Yeah,
or even a request in there to say, hey, can you edit your post and add hashtag
I can,
Norton for Biz?
But
and here's why. I mean, you're just wondering how to get it out. Like, if you can't do it via Messenger, it might actually be more beneficial, because if you put it in somebody's post and somebody sees the comment, it's going to inform other people as well.
Yeah, I hate giving a lesson as a comment. Yeah.
Or just try to not make it a lesson. Maybe just put some have you considered, adding hashtag Norton for Biz to your post? This is what it does, or this is what it could do.
Yeah, and then tag the EDC as well.
Yeah, and then have Cody come in behind and add some more, right? And then Sandy goes in behind it and adds a little bit more.
I was gonna say it only does that though, Renee, if people know how to use it on the other end. You're saying promoting your business, but if people don't know, they can search it and find a whole string like that, then it's not going to promote the business.
No, but I think we can say that, say, have you considered adding hashtag Norton for Biz to your post? Users can click on it and see everything attached to Norton for Biz.
But do users know that? Is my question.
Well, if you put it in a comment, users will hopefully read it too. So we'll educate the people posting and the people who are reading the comments. I mean, I'm sure that people don't know, because we have people that don't know, but if we're worried about, if we want it to be done on Facebook, it might help to actually just put the comment on Facebook, but not be, to your point, Laura, it's a fine line. You don't want to provide instruction, but one or two sentences might be helpful. Let me know, Laura, if I can help in any way.
Okay.
So it's 9:06. We kind of morphed from the business guide into the business updates and partnership and things like that. So
yeah.
Paul, let me just toggle back to you. Did you have anything else that you had on your list that we haven't talked about?
No. Nope.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate this discussion though. It was natural and nice. Laura, anything on the business database? Anything
done.
that we want to consider now that it's done?
Yes,
Yay.
I would like to turn it over to Paul.
Nope.
Looks like Paul has visually accepted the transition.
Okay. I will email it to you. I'm going to revise the instructions, Paul, because originally it was telling people where to find the information to source all of the data that needed to go in there. And so let me revise it, because you can add to it easily, but there's a category and a subcategory, and there's some specific instructions in there, and there's a couple of make sure you do this and don't do that type things.
Okay.
I will send that to you if you want, some assistance with it. If you want to do a walkthrough with it, happy to do that as well. I would recommend probably making multiple copies of it. Ideally, best case scenario is you can get some sort of database software at Town Hall that you can export that information to, so that it's in a more stable, I guess, environment than on Excel, and that multiple people can have access to, and then you don't have to worry about the security of the data that's in it.
Okay.
So it's good, for now, but as new businesses come online, somebody at Town Hall is going to have to update it or keep it updated. So I will email that.
I'll keep an eye out for it.
I will email that to you. Do the EDC want a copy?
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Okay. I will get that out. And then I'm done. I'm glad that one's done. That's been hanging out there for a while.
Nice work though, getting it done.
Yes.
And thank you for coordinating that and for everybody who pitched in.
Yes, thank you actually to everybody. It was a lot of work.
Do we want to go into anything else on the partnership plan, or I don't believe we have minutes. We can.
I do have one more thing. Sorry if you don't mind. Somebody had reached out to me and asked if Norton had a laundromat, and I think we need one. And, thinking of it personally, I wasn't entirely certain. We don't have a very large percentage of renters as opposed to owners, at least in relation to the average in the state. I know East Main Street has laundry runs. I know we have a lot of condos. Condos tend to have their own laundry, usually within the units themselves. But I had said I can just put up a quick post on Norton Neighbors, and it dawned on me that it may be more effective if it came from the EDC. Just kind of a quick survey question, and I wanted to run it by everybody and make sure nobody had an issue with me posting that from the EDC.
Laundromats have interesting history in Norton, don't they, Michael?
Oh yeah.
What was that, Sandy?
So laundromats have an interesting history in Norton. How long ago was that the laundromat that was here closed?
So you're muted, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to do well wherever they are, but the one that was here, that was closed.
I don't remember there being one.
Yeah, it was.
I had a bit of a issue with water not being claimed, even though the person who owned it was a plumber.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember hearing that story. Hey, Laura, is it possible, can you post that same survey like to a Mansfield site? Because they used to have a laundromat that was knocked down right by the train station. And now that 2 or 3 story building is there. And I can tell you, I used to do my dry cleaning there and those machines were filled like all the time. So maybe the need isn't specific in Norton, but maybe surrounding communities if we ask.
Are you sure the one in Mansfield is gone?
No, and Sandy's is
yeah, they went out of business.
Sandy's is still there.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a woman's name. I couldn't remember it.
And it's a fact. It's where a lot of dry cleaners actually bring their dry cleaning.
You're talking about behind Chibomato, right?
Yeah, Kyoto. Right next to
yeah.
Kyoto.
So I'm talking about the one that used to be when you go on the one way. There's the Bank of America. Yeah.
Used to be near that restaurant, the breakfast place right there.
Yeah, the breakfast place was part of the initial building that was knocked down. And then you had Royal's Barber Shop. So they closed up shop because I used to use them for my dry cleaning. They closed up shop when that building was sold and demoed.
Okay.
So unless they open the laundromat somewhere else I'm not aware of, but I just thought it might, you know, again, it might not just be a Norton specific need. I mean, we're a pretty small town. It's not hard to get, you know, from Mansfield to here or Taunton to here. Just a thought.
I'm guessing you're going to get some comments in regards to the water and people not necessarily wanting to dry or wash their clothes in Norton with Norton water.
That's an excellent point.
I don't know. I got to tell you, I know the water department said that they're not getting many complaints. Anybody know status? Because mine is like pristine since that treatment plant went online and I had bad water.
There's definitely some pockets, but I think, you know, again, it's more the perception at this point that you know.
Yeah. Anytime a water main breaks, all the surrounding area, the water just turns to mud.
I mean, wells 1 and 3 are not going through the treatment facility, but there's no real commercial. There's no real commercial zones in 103.
Throw it out there, see what happens. I mean, we haven't talked about dirty water in a long time. Maybe it's time we put it back out on the front page.
I don't want to stir up a hornet's nest though either.
It's the holiday season though. It's a gift of giving.
Okay.
Got it.
All right.
It's worth it. I mean, in my opinion, I don't think we have anything to lose.
Yeah. So I think they were thinking not just the coin op self-serve, but the like a wash and fold service as well. Kind of the one that used to be in Mansfield.
Mm-hmm. I used to love taking all my.
That I thought was still there.
Yeah, I used to love taking all my big stuff there, so I destroy my machine.
Mm.
You know.
On the Attleboro line too.
What was that, Michael?
There's one over near the Attleboro line. It's on the Attleboro line. There's a small washing, laundromat and dry and folding service.
I'm not familiar with it. Something else to add under business, it's kind of business update, it's more EDC update, and just want to put feelers out there, one if anyone's interested or if we should even do this. So I got an email about, the board got an email about the annual report and updates, and the Economic Development Commission was on there. And so I shot a note back to say, hey, you know, I'm not aware of like seeing any annual reports in any of the research that I did when I was writing something for last year's, and was informed that the last summary that was provided in a Norton Town annual report was from 1997. But the question was, do we feel, given the involvement now of the EDC, that it would be worthwhile to submit a report to the board for the annual report, covering what, July of 2020 or June of July 2020 to June of 2021, I think is the time frame. I don't remember when we passed everything. Like, I'd have to go back and look. I'm not opposed to it. If somebody like really likes the idea and wants to write something, I'm more than happy to respond back to say we'll definitely do it. If nobody really has that, you know, burning desire, I can put it on my plate, but I don't know that I'll make the deadline.
I was gonna say I'm not opposed to it, but not it.
So the last one to say not it. And Sandy's muted right now. Everybody say it.
Not it.
Not it. Michael, it's yours.
Not it.
So okay, if I have time to do it, I can probably put something together. It's not. I got a big chuckle about when it was, the last one was 1997. And at first I was like, oh, it's just 4 years ago, right? And then my mind kicked in to say, oh, wait, we're in 2021. That's not 4 years ago. Like, this is long, that's in the Wayback Machine. So, okay. I mean, it would be nice, right, to have just something in there for some recognition, because I think we did a lot of work over the past couple of years. And I think most of the stuff actually happened, wasn't it fall of 2020 because of COVID, right? It all got pushed. So I think everything for us kind of came to fruition in a 6-month period. I think. I could be completely off on the days because that is the story of my life. Okay. If anybody does want to contribute anything, or you think something is worth mentioning, feel free to shoot me a note. And like I said, I'll give it a best effort, but I'm not fully committing. The other one took me forever. Okay. Anything else? Okay. So we have right now, our next meeting is Wednesday, December 15th. Does that still work for everyone, or we want to call it?
I'm not available that night.
I'm not available either.
It's 2 down. So you want me just to, do you want to look at an alternate date, or do you want me to ping people to see if we're going to have quorum? I don't mind either way. I don't even mind if we feel like we're at a good point. I know we just, we only had one meeting. There's a bunch of things on our list that I'm sure we could talk to, but with the holidays and stuff, I don't know that there's much time that people are going to have to follow up. So if we want to consider this our last meeting of 2021. And
I was going to say, do you want to skip December and then just go to January?
I'm fine with that. You guys tell me.
Yep.
I got one vote, unofficial vote. And my battery's running low, so we don't have much time.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Let me just ask, anybody opposed to skipping December and we just regroup in 2022? I can't believe I'm saying that. Okay. Silence is golden. So I'll probably put an agenda together in a week just to get it out there and get it posted. And I'm also going to ask them to put our meeting series on the calendar, because I think it's important for people to be able to see like when we're going to be meeting, and if we can get agendas out there earlier. I don't think we're going to get much more participation. I also don't think right now with what I'll dub the new wave coming that we're going to be meeting in person anytime soon. I definitely don't think it's going to be over the next 3 months. So, we'll look at that when we feel it's appropriate, maybe springtime, if we're out of the clear. Okay, so with that, I wish you guys a very happy holiday season. Maybe if I'm a bit mobile, I'll ping you guys and we can get together just for a celebratory drink or something to see each other quickly before we go down into winter freezing mode.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays. Don't hang up yet.
Oh.
Well, I'm going to sign off.
Okay, you're going to sign off. Thanks, Paul.
Bye.
Talk to you soon.
Bye, Paul.
Okay, so Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Seconded.
Okay, Laura?
Yes.
Denise?
Yes.
Yes.
Sandy? Michael? Michael? Cody, and it's the holiday spirit. Cody?
Yay.
Excellent. See? Okay, we are adjourned as of 9:21. Thank you guys so much. We will we'll talk soon. Happy holidays.
Have a good night.
Night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.